Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I am working on my own nails and I'm going to be showing you how to correct a curved nail or a hooked nail. So my nails tend to curve downwards, and especially my two pointer fingers, those nails are the worst as far as the curve goes. So they curve down quite a bit. So I'm going to show you how to do this with gel and without having to re-sculpt a entirely new nail. So there's two ways. You can just remove the whole nail itself and then re-sculpt out a new one. But I'm going to show you how you can do it without having to go through that work. In my experience, most people's nails do not grow out perfectly nice and straight. You know, that's the way that we shape nails. When we create them, we create these perfectly nice straight nails, these beautiful shapes. But in the real world, clients' natural nails do not grow out that way. So it's kind of nice to know how you can fix that and correct some of the ways that the nails grow out naturally. Now, my nails in the before shots, they are 7 weeks grown out. I definitely don't recommend going that long because you can cause lifting or breaking and all sorts of different things. But if you're a nail tech, you understand, like, my clients come first, so a lot of times my nails are the last ones to get done because I'm working on my clients' nails and I don't want to stay super late at work after I've just worked all day to do my own nails. So yeah, so my nails, I come last, so sometimes, unfortunately, I don't get to do my nails very often, so that's why there's so much grow out. They're 7 weeks grown out. So now you can see when I hold up this metal nail file to it, you can see how much of a curve it has. So it really slants down almost to the point where the bottom of my finger and the tip of my nail are almost at the same level. So you can see if I hold it straight, how much of that nail needs to come off in order for that nail to be straight again. So I am going to have to remove quite a bit of that nail that is slanted downwards. And the rest of my nails curve slightly down, as you can see, but it's not nearly as much as that pointer finger. So I'm not going to worry too much about the other nails because I can kind of correct it when I just shape them as I am shaping the nails after I've filled them. But that pointer one, it's pretty curved. Like, I really need to do some corrections in order to fix that. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to remove all this product, and then I am going to show you guys what it looks like without the color and stuff on. So here's the nail without any of the color, and I've filed down the product, and you can see if I flip it underneath, you can see that my natural nail is pretty much grown out all the way to the end, almost all the way there. So that is how much it curves down. I feel like my nail bed just almost sits at an angle on my finger, which again is very common. I have a lot of clients who have this like a curved nail as well, or your nails grow crooked one direction. I mean, nobody's nails grow perfect. So I am going to shorten this nail a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about shortening it right now because it's going to get shorter in the process of correcting it. So I'm not going to worry about that right this second. So I'm going to do my prep work and then come back and we are going to rebalance this nail. So the two gels I'm going to be working with are both from Accents. On the left we have Trinity and the right we have Balance. So Trinity is going to be more of a runnier gel. It's also a 3-in-1, so it has a bonder built in. You can use it as a builder gel, and it's shiny when you remove the tacky layer, so you can use it as a top coat as well. And then Balance, as you can see, is much thicker, but it's not a 3-in-1. When you compare the two, you can see how much thicker Balance is, and that's what I'm going to use to correct it because I'm going to need something that's going to hold its shape a little bit and not self-level so quick. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my regular primer to the nail, and I'm going to fill it just like I normally would. So I'm not worrying about correcting anything to begin with. I'm just filling it, and I'm using my Trinity gel, and I am placing a bead down where the cuticle area is. And I'm just moving that around. And again, this gel has a bonder in it. So if you're using a gel that doesn't have a bonder, you would use your bonder first before applying your gel. And if you're wondering also why the gels are blue, they have a slight blue tint to them, and it's supposed to help correct any yellowing. Sometimes gel can turn yellow after curing, so the slight blue tint actually prevents the gel from turning yellow after it's cured. So I'm just filling it like that. It's still curved, that's fine. And now I'm going to focus on the tip. So I'm going to cure that first layer of gel, and now I'm going to start building up the end of the nail and start to correct the shape. So there's my dollop of balance. So as you can see, it does not move, it does not self-level, like it stays exactly where you put it, which is what I need. And you can also use this same technique with acrylic as well. So if you were an acrylic tech, you would be using your acrylic instead of your gel, obviously. And I'm going to drop that bead right on the end of the nail, and you can see it's quite a bit of gel, but you need a good amount of gel in order to correct this type of a nail. And the nail is gonna look absolutely crazy. I'm telling you guys, anytime I've ever done this on my clients, they're looking at me like, what the heck is she doing? Like, why is she making my nail like so thick? But just wait till the end and you'll see how much better it looks at the end. So I am just smoothing it out the best that I can. It's okay if it's not perfect. And honestly, this balance gel, it does not self-level at all. So in my experience, I kind of have a hard time getting it like perfectly smooth, but I try my best and make sure in keeping most of that product focused on the free edge area. So I'm just smoothing that out and looking at it from all angles. I'm going to cure that, and I decided to add a little bit more because that nail is so curved. You have to look at the nail from the side and imagine if the nail comes out straight, where is that end of the nail going to be? So you got to keep adding more product until you feel like once you've removed that nail underneath, that nail is going to be straight, if that makes sense. So you want to kind of visualize in your head what that nail is going to look like once it's already straight. So again, I added a second layer and I'm just smoothing it out again, making sure you cure in between your layers. So I cured my first layer of Trinity when I did my regular fill, and then I've cured my second layer of balance, and now I'm working on my third layer of balance. If I tried to do this technique with Trinity, it's way too runny and it would just like run and self-level itself way too fast and way too much. So that's why you need something that's definitely going to hold its shape. So I'm just using my brush and working that gel exactly where I want it, even adding a little bit more. Don't be afraid to add more if you feel like you need it, because the technique's not going to work if you don't add enough. So it will look crazy. Like it's going to look like this giant blob of a nail, but trust me, towards the end it'll be so beautiful and it won't even look like the same nail. It's like a complete transformation. So once I've got that third layer of gel where I want it, I'm going to cure that, and then we are going to start filing it into shape. So before we start shaping it, this is what it looks like. This is what I've got. Nice big blob of gel on the end there, and now we're going to start correcting the shape. For shaping, you can use your e-file or you can use a hand file, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm going to show you guys using a hand file, and then I use an e-file a little bit later in the video. But the first thing that we're going to start doing is filing that nail from the underside. And again, using this metal nail file, you can see how much of that nail we're going to have to remove in order to create a straight nail. So that's all the nail that I'm going to have to remove. I'm just showing you guys with a hand file, and I was a little bit out of frame here, so I'll kind of help explain what I'm doing. So I'm just filing from the underside of the nail and removing that natural nail that is curved way down. And you can see as I go, you can see how much shorter that natural nail is getting, and that gel that we added is now becoming the free edge. It's now becoming the extension, and the natural nail is getting shorter because we are filing it out from underneath. And if I use that metal nail file, it's still curved down a little bit, as you can see, but it's getting a lot straighter. So we got to keep going with it. I'm also not worrying about what the shape looks like just yet. All I'm worried about is getting that natural nail and getting that curve corrected. I'm using a nail file that is 100 and 180 grit, and for this I'm using the 100 side because it's coarser, so it's going to be a lot faster. If you use your 180 side, it's going to be too smooth and you're going to be filing forever. So the 100 side is the grittier side. The extensions becoming more of the gel and less of the natural nail. Still continuing to go and file underneath. The 100 side, since it's the grittier side of the nail file, that's what you're going to use to really remove bulk. And then the 180 side is going to help smooth things out really nicely. So I use the 100 side when I'm like really needing to remove some bulk or remove or shape something very quickly, because it's going to remove things a lot faster. It's a lot more coarse than the 180 side. And my favorite nail files are from Light Elegance. They're the perfect files. I just love them. They hold their grit like through the whole surface, and they just last a really long time. Now, if you look straight down the barrel of the nail, you can see how thick that nail is, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So don't freak out that the nail is super, super thick. We will correct that towards the end. Okay, the nail is starting to get a lot straighter now. It's looking a lot better. I'm going to start focusing on the actual shape of the nail. So I'm filing the side walls and filing the overall surface area of the nail. Again, still using my 100 side. I do catch my skin in this a little bit, so you'll see I accidentally like rough up my skin near my cuticle. It didn't hurt, but it just doesn't look very pretty. So careful if you are doing that, but using my 100 side still, because this nail is very thick, so it's got a lot of bulk to it. So using that 100 side to quickly kind of file it into the general shape that I want. Going around the cuticle area, super nice. You want that cuticle area nice and thin. So now I am happy with the way the nail looks. It looks so much better than it did before. It's got a nice shape, a lot straighter. If you look down the barrel though, you can see that there's still a lot of product. It's a very thick looking nail, so I want to fix that as well. I'm going to use my e-file. There's a couple of different bits that you could use for this. You could use that thin cone bit, or you could use a carbide cylinder bit. I'm going to use the carbide cylinder, and I'm going to just very, very carefully create more of a C curve in that free edge, so it doesn't just look like a big block at the end. So I'm going from underneath. Again, if you are doing this, you want to be really careful and not cut that skin underneath of your nail, because that'll hurt really bad. So just a little bit at a time is what I'm doing, and I'm just thinning out that free edge and creating a nice C curve, so it's not just a straight flat block, big thick block of a nail. So it's already looking a little bit better. It's got a nice, more slender looking shape. Again, really, really carefully, and I think I have my e-file maybe on like 20 RPMs or so. Thin that out, and that's already looking better. It's still a little bit thick, but it's already looking better, so I'm going to do just a little bit more, and you can see how much shorter that natural nail has gotten underneath, because that natural nail curves, so the only way to get a straight nail is you got to take that natural nail out of there. If you look down the barrel, it just looks 10 times better, so much thinner, and now you have a beautiful straight nail, beautiful shape. No more curved nails. I know some people like the curved nail style. If that's your style, that's your jam, then by all means, go ahead and do that. So yeah, so that is how you can correct a curved nail without rebuilding, re-sculpting an entire nail. I hope this video helped you guys out and gave you some tips and tricks on how to rebalance nails when they are curved or hooked nails. And if you want to see the nails that I did on myself, so after I gave myself an entire fill, new nails, then just make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that, because I recorded that and I'm going to put that in a separate video and you guys can see me doing my own nails. So I hope you enjoyed this video again. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to share if you think somebody could find this helpful. Please, by all means, share this and share this with your nail friends. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.